All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It started streaming. 7 seconds. All right. Welcome. For those who are joining us right now, for those who will join us later during the replay, my name is Silvester, a funding specialist with funding and business. And in this live, I'm going to help you guys learn how to apply for an SBA loan. Okay, I'm really excited about this, guys, because it's over 10 years of experience working with different business owners, helping them to acquire working capital, even when they thought they couldn't. So this is very important, guys. If you have a pen and paper, take notes, because if you're struggling to apply for an SBA loan and you don't know how to figure out the steps or if your business qualifies, then this is definitely the video for you, because by the end of this video, I can promise you guys, you learn the application process and the step-by-step guide on how to apply for an SBA loan. You also learn the eligibility requirements, like what do you need in order for your business to qualify for an SBA loan. You'll also know the different types of SBA loans. I know this is a big mistake that a lot of business owners make, assuming that the SBA loan is just one financial tool, but there's several types of SBA loans, each suited for different needs. There's SBA loans that are express, there's some that are actually for disaster relief, business, but we'll cover that later. We'll also learn about the pros and cons of the SBA loan, so you can weigh the advantages and disadvantages and see if it's actually something you want to go with. And last but not least, I don't know if I'm the only one who noticed this, but a lot of videos out here do a good job actually when it comes to explaining how to apply for an SBA loan. But here's the thing, they don't actually give you the tools to match yourself with the lender. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you the link that you can actually use to match yourself with the lender that's actually SBA approved and can actually meet your needs. I will also show you guys a link where you guys can find mentors who are well informed on business information, can help you package an application and even write a business plan. So the big question now is, what is an SBA loan? Now, in general terms, an SBA loan is a type of loan given by an institution. This can be a private lender or a bank that is backed by the SBA. And the SBA, that's the Small Business Administration. So I know that type of explanation might be kind of vague, but here's a better explanation. So with the SBA, think of yourself back when you was a kid in the playground. Now, if you wanted to play with another kid's toy, you'd have to borrow that toy and then have to either prove you or like be friends with you. But if they didn't know you like that, they'd be like shaking and giving it to you. Now, if the teacher steps in and says, "Hey guys, don't really worry about it. I got everything covered in case something happens to the toy. I'll help you. I'll help him or her pay for it." Now it's easier for you to actually get the toy. Why? Because now the teacher has come in and given kind of an assurity or given the other kid confidence that if something happens to their toy, then they'll get reimbursed. So it's the same concept with the SBA. The SBA is like the teacher that just comes in and backs up a portion of the loan that you'd borrow from a regular traditional loan. All right. So I hope that kind of makes sense. If it doesn't, feel free to comment in the link or comment in the section below, and I'll be great. What is it called? I'll be glad to explain it better, maybe in the next live and stuff like that. All right, now there's a lot of myths that are holding business owners back, and the first one is that it's impossible to qualify for an SBA loan. Now, if you're familiar with the Small Business Act that was actually passed into law in 1953 by President Dwight, its main goal was actually to provide free market and actually easier access to small businesses. So financing to small businesses. So it doesn't really make sense to say that SBA loans are impossible to qualify. If you actually package your application properly and you make sure that your business is qualified. Again, qualified. There's applications and there's qualifications. Make sure your business is qualified. And by qualified, I mean you have to meet the criteria that the lender is asking for in order to give you access to the funds. Or let me just put it like this. Your application is just but the form you send to the lender. This is like your social, your date of birth, your industry, how much you need. However, your qualification is the criteria or requirements you need to meet in order for the lender you're working with to give you access to the funds. So qualification is way more important than an application. Okay. And we'll talk more later on the requirements and how you can qualify. The second myth is it takes forever to fund. And that's why I say it's good to know the different types of SBA loans. There's actually an SBA loan that can be approved within 36 hours and funded within 30 days, known as the SBA Express loan. And then last but not least is that SBA only for businesses. To be honest, it's called Small Business Administration. So there is actually a tool that you can use on the SBA website that can actually help you classify or define whether or not your business is classified as a small business. And I have the link in the description again. Just check it out. All right. Now, I know what you're thinking. We've talked about all this stuff, but where do you actually get an SBA loan? As I mentioned earlier, the SBA itself doesn't really give you, actually not, it does not give you any funds. It just uses third parties or other institutions, as I said, such as traditional banks, credit unions, private lenders to issue out these funds. And again, the good thing is if you stick till the end of the video, as you can see on my slide, there's the SBA lender match tool that I'll show you guys that's on the website for SBA, for applying for SBA. It's a free online tool. Just stick to the end because I don't want to like dilly-dally ever. I just want to go step by step. So there's a tool that can actually help you get matched with the lender that actually suits your business needs. Now, we come to what are the requirements, because after 10 years in the industry, this is my number one tip for you guys. Learn how to use your business as leverage to acquire working capital. And the only way you do that is making sure your business qualifies for most of these loans. And again, I can put it in form of like a mental mindset. There's three factors that you actually need to be successful with your business. Okay. That's to have credibility, reputation, and a network. Okay. And I'll explain that in the future. But like your reputation is where you build your credit. Okay. It's where you learn how to fix your business situation and cash flow. Now, what do you actually require for an SBA loan? You actually need to be a profitable business. By this, I mean that you need to be making profits. Like if you put 10,000, make 12,000. Even if you're making losses, your main goal should be to be profitable, because with most lenders, you're predominantly measured by your revenues and profits. The other thing is you have to be US based. So your business has to be registered by your local government or Secretary of State. Unfortunately, if you're not registered, then most of these agencies consider that you're not really working within the guidelines of your state or even the country. So the other part I already mentioned, you have to be defined as a small business. Your status has to be like small business. And again, don't worry, you might be making millions, but you're still considered a small business. So there's a tool again, link in the description, to see whether or not you are considered a small business. The other thing, you have to own over 20% of your business. And whether it's an LLC, S Corp, it doesn't matter. You have to have at least more than 20% shares in your company or institution or money generating activity that's registered. If it's below 20%, you have to ask for a shareholder within the company that's actually owning more than 20% of shares to actually apply for the loan for you all. Discuss how you guys can get the loan. The last thing is you have to be creditworthy. That means most lenders will require at least 650 and above, but again, use the matching lender tool to find a lender that can actually work based on your situation. And then last but not least, but you also have to make sure that what you're using the money for is approved for it. Like whatever you apply, if you wanted to do expansion, the money you take should be used for expansion, not anything different from expansion. Now, what are the different types of SBA loans? Okay, because I can't gatekeep this anymore because there's different types of SBA loans. Now, the most popular one is the SBA 7A loan. Why? Because it's actually basic, the most basic, where you just need it for general business funding. It can be used for working capital, real estate, or equipment acquisition. And the good thing to know is that it takes at least 30 days to get approved and 90 days to get funded. The application process is 30 days. And you should also note that with the SBA loan, it comes with a little cousin known as the SBA Express loan. Now, to be honest with you guys, the biggest like disadvantage with most loans is the wait time. Because before, like, you're here trying to push papers, you're talking to lenders, but all that time is done, guess what? Your opportunity is gone, or the emergency you're working on is actually drowning your business. So with the SBA Express loan, you can actually get approved within 36 hours and get funded within 30 days. Again, with this one, mostly you don't need collateral, but you have to find a lender that can actually work with you. And if you're interested in learning more, please click the link in the description on the Master the Art of Using Debt to Grow Your Business. The other type of loan is the 504 loan. It's best used for long-term fixed assets, and the maximum you can get for this is 15 million. It's best used for land acquisition and building big constructions. Last but not least is the SBA microloan. This is best used for like new businesses that are basically maybe in their first or second year. The good thing about the SBA microloan is that you don't require collateral for most lenders. Anything basically 25,000 and below, you don't need collateral for most of these SBA microloans. But again, it varies with lender and also varies with each case and industry and the risk that your business is holding. Okay. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages of the SBA loan? So it's good to mention that the advantages and disadvantages come about by the SBA, the Small Business Administration, being involved overall, like sticking their noses into our business, your business. So, what do I mean by this? For example, let's say Bank A is trying to give you $100,000, but at the end of the day, they're the only institution that has to take the entire risk for the 100,000, meaning they'll make it harder for you to qualify. They'll make harder terms because it's only them. However, if the SBA steps in, like in this situation, and says, hey, I'll cover a portion of the loan, whether it's 80%, 50%. Now the lender has less risk. And as you can see, one of the advantages is that it becomes easier to qualify because now he's not having as big a risk if he was just giving you the loan and backing it by himself. Again, he's now able to give you larger amounts. Why? Because out of the 100,000, he's being backed a portion of it. So he's like, okay, I can be flexible and give you more. Same thing with the better terms. However, the involvement is also like comes with the downside. Now, just because they're there, they'll require like thorough, I mean, thorough scrutiny to make sure that your business is legitimate, that you're registered and operating within state guidelines. Like it's a very strict and thorough process. So the process becomes very long just because they're involved. Again, due to the fact that, hey, they're covering a portion of the loan, they require you to actually lower the risk for both them and the lender by requiring you to give a guarantor or collateral. Whether or not your credit score is good, doesn't matter. Unless you're borrowing maybe 50,000 and below, as I mentioned earlier about this SBA microloans. Again, last but not least, they require extensive documentation. But don't let this scare you guys, because again, as I said, at the end of the video, I'll show you guys links that can actually partner you with mentors who are well informed on business information and can help you package an application and write a solid business plan. Now, if it's one thing you should take from this video is learning what lenders are looking for. And this is just, again, but the basics. If you want to find a lender that works, can match with you, please look I keep repeating again. Look at the matching tool at the end of the video. But lenders are just actually looking for collateral to reduce the risk. They're going to check your credit score. Your credit score actually just tells them your habits, your payment habits. Like, are you late on payments? Are you reliable? How big a risk are you? The other thing that they're also looking for is your cash flow. Again, this varies because there's lenders that can actually work with startups that have no cash flow. But again, you have to work with them and find them in the lender matching tool. They'll also need a down payment. This is usually some lenders. Again, not all lenders require down payment. For example, let's say if you need 100,000, there's lenders that will require you to put 10%. So let's say 10,000 after being approved by the for you to get the 100,000. Now, this is the checklist you should have before moving on and trying to apply for SBA loan. The first thing you need to have is a business plan. The second thing you need to know is the amount you need and how you're going to use the funds. The other thing is to check your credit history. There's no shortcuts to this, unfortunately. You need to fix your credit score. 650 and above should suffice. The other thing, you should have financial projections of where you see your business going and how much you're going to generate from the money you're actually borrowing. Again, that's where they would like to see if your business is for profit. Again, you need collateral documentations. Again, with collateral, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that types of collateral include cars, can be jewelry, can be land, can be houses. Any type of asset that has a fixed or slightly variable value that can be liquidated. That does not include stocks. So you cannot use stocks because, especially with the volatility, that's not allowed. Like most lenders will not take stocks or shares for that matter. I've had a client ask me if I could take shares from their company, but this ain't Shark Tank. It's funny in business. But my bad, I'm joking. Anyway, so what are we going to do today? We're going to take action. The first thing we're going to do is to fix our credit score. Second thing we're going to do is find specialized lenders, as I'm about to show you with the tool. And then you're also going to get matched. Now, so how do we actually go about finding lenders? Again, give me 1 second. Let me pull it up. Osama. So lender match. So again, the page is back. So this is the SBA loan. So find lender matches. Again, I will make sure that I have the link in the description. So you just come to the SBA, find lender match, click on the lender match. You put your name, your address, then continue. They will contact you in at least 2 business days. Okay. All right, now I don't see any questions. Yeah, that should be it for today. Thank you guys for joining. If you guys have any questions, any opinions, please feel free to put them in the link in the description. And thank you guys for being visionaries. I love doing this honestly because I'm talking to people who decided to build instead of consume, and that's some magic. So if you'd like to learn more about how SBA loans work and if they're a bad idea in the first place, please watch the playlist in my page. See you in the next one.